If you've ever found it hard to go for a run, or worse, you feel like you've lost your love for running, your mojo has gone, give me the next 8 minutes or so of your hopefully extraordinarily long life, and I'm going to offer you a perspective on running that might fundamentally shift your attitude to a place where mojo is on all of the time. In fact, you will be the mojo. And it starts with our history. Go back in time, you probably only need to go back 150 years or so. How many runners are you going to see? Probably none. So then ask yourself why. Well, for the most part, life was really tough. Weekends, where we don't work, didn't really exist. Leisure pursuits didn't exist for the masses. Or if they did, they certainly weren't hauling their carcass around for a set period of time, probably in discomfort for no immediate perceivable gain. Not like competitive games like football or cricket where there's an outcome, there's a win or loss. What I'm trying to say is that not too long ago, running as an enjoyable leisure pursuit either wasn't an option for many or it wasn't considered beneficial. So what changed? Well, for the most part, the world has evolved. There's a 5-day working week for some. Financial means have increased for some. Understanding of what running can do for us has increased for many. The change is that we now get to run. It is an absolute privilege, not a right. One of the biggest indicators of financial stability is being able to pursue a leisure activity. And this is not available to so much of the world even now. People who have to work 7 days a week or 10 hours a day or more to make ends meet. The thought, or I really should say the dream, of having the means or the time to get out and run is so far from some people's imaginations so as to seem absurd. And yet, here many of us are, enjoying this freedom, this privilege. And my aim with this video is not to make any of us feel bad for those who don't get to run. It is hard to hear, I know. But it is more for us to not lose sight of the extraordinary opportunity we have. We don't have to run. We get to run. And what about all the people who physically can't run, for whatever reason? Those who wish they could. And here we might be with the ability to physically do what some people can only dream of doing. Running is bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It is actually bigger than all of us. We run for those who can't. So when you've had a hard day or a stressful week, when you've had an argument or a bad session before, when you're coming back from an injury or the weather is rubbish, remember, you don't have to run. You get to run. No one is holding a gun to your head. Running over the long term is pure joy. It's a connection to the world and to yourself. We're in the best place we've ever been as a human race. Could it be better? Sure, but it's still pretty amazing. So I'd argue, what right do we have to squander this gift we have? If we were born at pretty much any other time in human history, this wouldn't even be an option to us. And as I mentioned before, still, it isn't an option to much of the world. So I see it like this. Running represents freedom. You don't just go outside and put yourself through these types of discomfort unless you are truly free in some sense. It might be financially, but it could just as easily be spiritually, or work-wise, or freedom in some other way. We've carved it out. Now what do we do with it? We find the beauty in every single run. Sometimes it's as simple as just getting out there, but often it's everywhere around us. Our environment, nature, human interactions, the connections we form between our mind and our body. Suddenly, we are our own mojo. Now, if we're having a hard or long day, don't worry, we get to run. If you're struggling emotionally, try not to worry. We get to run, and it might help a little. We're coming back from an injury and we're worried about how much fitness we've lost, or the progress you'll have to remake. Don't worry, you get to run again, and that can be enough. So if you've ever struggled, firstly, that's okay. You're human. It would be weird if you didn't. But remember, when you look at your shoes and you wonder whether to lace them up or not, wonder whether to get out, we have this extraordinary gift and opportunity available to so few. It's not a right to run, but it's our right to run for those who can't, and ourselves. We get to find the joy in every run. I really think we're the luckiest people on earth. So all we have to do now is get up, get out, and get it.